Hi, I'm Frankie, and in this video, I'm going to show you how you can add a custom domain to your Azure Static Web App in 4 minutes. To speed things up for us, I've already created an Azure Static Web App. You can see here in the overview page that it's using GitHub. It's a free version of an Azure Static Web App, and this is the URL that is generated for me by Azure when my Azure Static Web App was created. However, when I go to my Azure Static Web App, this isn't a very friendly URL to give to people if I want them to visit my website, which is why we're going to create an Azure Static Web App custom domain now. I can go to my Azure Static Web App and I can navigate to the settings page here where I can then go to custom domains. Currently in my custom domain plane, I just have the auto-generated URL. If I want to add my custom domain now, it has to come from 2 different locations, either within Azure, within an Azure DNS zone that exists, or some other external provider where the DNS is managed. I have my domain, Frankie's Bakery, on Namecheap.com. So that is where I'll get started plugging in the info to prove to Azure that I own this domain. When I get started to validate proving that I own this, if I wanted to get started with a www or another subdomain, I could choose to use a CNAME, or I could use a text record if I want to just use the host version of my domain. That's what I'm going to do now. So I'll generate a TXT record that Azure will give me to then put in my Namecheap server DNS management so that I can prove to Azure that I have this domain. Azure has generated a TXT record for me that I can add to my DNS management. I'll go to Namecheap where I can manage the DNS for my domain. I'll add a new text record that is what Azure will use to validate it. I'll add it the same way that Azure has told me to, and now I have to wait a little while Azure validates this. This validation could take a while depending on how long it takes Namecheap to propagate your files across the web so that Azure can pick it up. You can hang out here, refresh, or you could even leave and come back to wait for the validation to be complete, and then we'll move forward. Okay, I've come back and seen that Azure has now validated my custom domain, and they'll now allow me to use it for my Azure Static Web App. So my next step is to copy the auto-generated URL that was given to me by Azure, and I'll create an alias record within my Namecheap DNS so that my Azure Static Web App will point towards my custom domain when users want to go to it. And after the files again have propagated throughout the web, I should be able to go to my custom domain to see it as well. Looks like I need to wait a little longer. I'll give it some time, refresh later, and we'll try again. All right, let's try this again. All right, we got our custom domain set up for our Azure Static Web App. Now anybody can go to this website by just going to frankiesbakery.com. If you want to learn more about Azure Static Web Apps, you can find these resources in the description below. If this video was helpful for you, please like it and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And if you missed the overview video for Azure Static Web Apps, you can find that video here. As always, thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one.